If a wrestling audience doesn't approve of a certain star in the ring, or feels aggrieved by a particular situation or piece of booking on that given night, you can bet your sweet ass they're gonna let you know about it. Likewise, if some wrestlers aren't happy with a crowd's reaction, be it live or via social media, they too have often been less than shy about letting their voices be heard. Not every wrestler's grievances against the paying public are justified, but we're not here to play judge. Instead, let's just enjoy talking about how much these wrestlers hate our guts. I'm Gareth from What Culture Wrestling, and here are 10 wrestlers who hated the fans. Number 10. Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins' lackluster feuds with Baron Corbin and Braun Strowman didn't do much to endear the recently crowned Universal Champion to the fans. But his battle with the uber-popular Fiend Bray Wyatt inside Hell in a Cell at the titular pay-per-view was the final straw for an audience which once cheered him to the top of the mountain. One viral clip even surfaced showing a fan holding up a Seth Rollins is not cool sign and staring down the defending champion after the match's controversial finish, with the star clearly not happy with the reaction he was receiving. Rollins followed up this moment a few weeks later in a backstage Monday Night Raw interview by stating, "I just feel like I'm out here every single week, busting my back, breaking my back, putting the whole company on my back sometimes, and I don't get the respect I deserve because there's this new flavor of ice cream." His reaction was obviously dialed up as a way of selling the ongoing program, but you can see from Rollins' delivery that there was some truth behind his frustration at how he was being treated by the WWE Universe. Number 9. Kevin Nash. Spray painting their rivals and running riot throughout WCW's Monday Night War era, Kevin Nash and the rest of the NWO did whatever they wanted whenever they wanted. This also extended to their interactions with the paying public. It was evident that Nash wasn't the biggest fan of some sections of the fanbase, and his disdain towards select members of the wrestling community was captured perfectly when a rogue fan hurled a rock at Big Sexy during MTV's summer break in 1997. Not missing an opportunity to exact some revenge on the cowardly fan, Nash sprinted after the culprit, a sight in itself, and tackled him to the ground. Scott Hall can also be heard telling the rest of the crowd, "Show's over, we wanna press charges." This, coupled with Nash's frequent battles with fans on Twitter, all points to a wrestler who isn't fond of suffering in silence. Number 8. Randy Orton. In the early stages of his WWE career, Randy Orton regularly appeared at meet and greets, and it wasn't uncommon for him to regularly embarrass the adoring fans who had paid good money to come and see the young star. It'd be lovely to say that Orton grew to love the WWE Universe as a whole as the years went by. However, he can still be found cutting fans down to size on Twitter and outside of wrestling arenas all around the world if he doesn't approve of a certain reaction. For example, in 2017, Orton was involved in an altercation with a fan in the Trim Gym in Jonesboro. This fan approached Orton and asked him for a photo, only for the former WWE champion to fist bump him and claim to not hear what he was asking for. He had his earphones in, you see. After this, the fan then chose to take a cheeky snap of the apex predator, and judging from his face in the photo, he was not amused. He reportedly stormed up to said fan and exploded, asking him what the F are you doing before leaving in a huff. It appears that Orton will forever have a complicated relationship with his fanbase, so best to keep secret gym selfies to a minimum, eh? Number 7. RYBACK. Over the years, RYBACK hasn't exactly kept his feelings to himself. The big guy regularly blasts Vince McMahon and Triple H for their business decisions on Twitter and his own podcast. Yet, wrestling fans have also been targeted by RYBACK for a whole host of reasons. When recently discussing Roman Reigns receiving backlash from some for his understandable decision to back out of his WrestleMania 36 match with Goldberg, RYBACK said on the Shooting Blanks Wrestling Report podcast, "That's wrestling fans for you. And I say fans, and I'm talking about the negative ones. Those are also the same people that hate him, that don't want him there. He does something, and he's not there now, and the name calling is always a go-to with that portion of the people. They name call because that is the only thing they can go to." He also let rip at disgruntled fans on Twitter after his 2013 Hell in a Cell match with CM Punk, tweeting, "Hey, here's an idea. How about you guys find 3 things you enjoyed about Hell in a Cell and be happy? Being miserable sucks. I get it. it, you're fat, but just try. Solid advice from the big guy? Number 6, Shayna Baszler. Much like her fellow former MMA stars turned professional wrestlers, we'll get to them later, Shayna Baszler doesn't tend to humor the WWE universe if she doesn't agree with their opinions. Just recently, Baszler was seen blasting a fan on Twitter who chastised her for threatening to tear the living out of Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch. The fan wrote, "I don't mind if you pull something like this, but my kids were watching, and if you aren't going to keep it PG, you should say so." To which Baszler responded by stating, "Or you could be a father and tell them I am a terrible person and they shouldn't like me for that. Or that they will get grounded and their tablets taken away if they ever do that. Because I don't give a crap about your kids, so I won't modify my behavior for them." If that wasn't enough to establish just how little time Baszler has for some corners of the WWE universe, kayfabe or not, her backing of pal Ronda Rousey's recent "F these fans dude" statement definitely hammered the point home. Number 5, Scott Steiner. Scott Steiner is well known for not holding back when it comes to voicing his own opinions on everyone from Stephanie McMahon to Hulk Hogan. But fellow industry professionals aren't the only people the former WWF/WCW star has had a problem with over the years. On numerous occasions, Steiner has blurred the line between volatile heel and genuinely furious human being when faced with a crowd he didn't agree with. In one instance, back in 2014, Steiner was seen aggressively shoving a rowdy fan who got in his face at a title match wrestling show. He also took aim at the current generation of snowflakes on the recent TNA on Access show, telling them to take your FaceTime and shove it up your own ass. Yeah, you could argue that Steiner is simply going full heel, forcing fans to boo him by not pulling his punches. But his willingness to put his hands on paying audience members and his merciless berating of the crowd whenever he feels like it definitely suggests that he has some deep underlying resentment towards the passionate wrestling community. Number 4, Al Snow. Despite being admired by so many, Al Snow has referred to some fans in particular as the goofiest bunch of people he's ever met, and has actually admitted that he genuinely hates them in a Hannibal TV interview in 2016. In this sit-down conversation, Snow claimed there are a minority of fans that are very vocal and they're very contemptuous based on information that they think is knowledge. Clearly, Snow has had enough of a small section of fans constantly slamming what they see on screen, and feels that the wrestling world should instead be tailoring their product towards the general audience who simply want to be entertained. This view definitely won't have made him popular with those very same vocal wrestling junkies. But judging from his demeanor throughout this shoot interview, it doesn't look like the former Leaf Cassidy will care too much about their opinions going forward. Number 3, Brock Lesnar. It's no secret that former WWE champion Brock Lesnar returned to the company in 2012 to make money, not make friends. In fact, that much has been evident from the first moment he set foot in a WWE ring. And over the years, Lesnar has often made it known how little he genuinely cares about the wrestling community as a whole. As recently as 2018 Survivor Series, Lesnar could be heard telling a fan to "shut up, effing moron," after they called for Lesnar to put Daniel Bryan out of his misery in their champion versus champion showdown. Lesnar also doesn't relish interacting with wrestling fans outside of the arena, as Wade Barrett once recalled how a 16-year-old fan tried to get up close and personal with the Beast in a gym. After being followed into the bathroom by the kid, Lesnar apparently let rip at the young lad and screamed, "Are you trying to see my effing penis?" That same youngster soon fled the scene, as you would. Number 2, Bully Ray. Throughout his career as a professional wrestler, Bully Ray has never struck you as the sort of dude you want to piss off. Yet wrestling fans seem to continually get under the skin of the former WWE and TNA star, whether they intend to or not. On Twitter, Ray can regularly be found calling out wrestling fans for crapping on the product, and his hatred towards what he classes as rude fans was clearly on show when he got into an altercation with an audience member at a Ring of Honor show in 2019. After a fan had been hurling vile abuse and heckling the women's heel faction known as the Allure, said fan was eventually escorted backstage where he was met by the Queen's native. Ray then demanded that the fan treated wrestlers with more respect, and the vocal crowd member was soon escorted back to their seat. Ray later claimed, after reports of the confrontation surfaced online, that the story had been twisted to make the fan look like the victim in the situation, and stated, "I think we can all agree that in 2019 this type of behavior towards women is unacceptable." Again, the former Bubba Ray Dudley doesn't seem to have a problem with respectful fans showing up and making some noise, but as he put it himself, respectful fans always get what they want, rude fans always get what they deserve. Number 1, Ronda Rousey. As you probably know already, Ronda Rousey doesn't give a damn about her reputation, and she also doesn't give a damn about wrestling fans either. Labeling the WWE universe as effing ungrateful fans that don't even appreciate her, Rousey didn't let up when discussing her reasons for not returning to the ring as quickly as many people may have expected. Rousey seemed to hit a rough patch with the wrestling community after she was booed out of 2018 Survivor Series pay-per-view post-war with Charlotte Flair. Visually hurt by the crowd's reaction towards her, the baddest woman on the planet turned on the live audience. It even spat out a "you're not a man" comment in response to one particular heckler on the night. It now looks as though Rousey isn't in any rush to return to the squared circle. After she further clarified in that recent podcast appearance, "I was just like, F these fans, dude. My family loves me, they appreciate me, I want all of my energy to go into them." It appears that those piercing boos at Survivor Series inflicted some lasting damage on the rowdy one, and she isn't in the mood to entertain the paying folk anytime soon. And that's our list. Know of any other wrestlers who hated the fans? Let us know all about them in the comment section below, and do not forget to like, share, click on that subscribe button, and ring the bell while you're there. Also, be sure to head on over to whatculture.com and click on some more brilliant articles just like the one this video is based on. I've been Gareth from What Culture Wrestling, thank you very much for watching, and I'm sure I'll see you soon.